Icelance is a spell that a Frost Mage's DPS revolves around. Icelance was first introduced in the Burning Crusade. It did a little bit of damage but was instant cast and cost very little mana. If used on a frozen target, it did 3 times the normal damage. Coupled together with Shatter, a mage spell that has changed many times over the course of WoW but has always increased your chance to crit on a frozen target, made it possible for Icelance to hit for 6 times its normal damage when used on frozen targets. And because of the way Frost Nova used to work, allowed mages to spam Icelance on frozen targets as long as their Icelance didn't hit the damage threshold. Frost Nova would still break on damage back then, but only if you hit over the damage threshold. As long as your Icelance just hit under the damage cap, you could spam it. But Blizzard changed that quickly to give Frost Nova a higher chance to break when hit with a critical strike. But even with this fix, mages still found a way to use Shatter to their advantage. You see, there was this thing called the Shatter combo. What mages typically did in PvP was cast a Frostbolt. Right before the Frostbolt finished casting, you'd use your pet's freeze to make your target frozen and gain the Shatter effect. You wanted to wait right before you finished casting so that your opponent didn't have enough time to dispel the freeze. Then, once the Frostbolt left your hand, you would use an Icelance immediately after. Frostbolt has a slower travel time than Icelance, and the Shatter is applied to your spell when it leaves your hand, not when it hits the target. So while your Shattered buff Frostbolt is in the air, your Icelance will also have the Shatter buff since the target is still considered frozen, even though the Frostbolt is almost guaranteed to break the freeze. Both Frostbolt and Icelance hit roughly at the same time, and no matter which one hits first, both gain the Shatter effect and dealt a ton of damage in 1 GCD. In Wrath, Fingers of Frost was given to mages. Fingers of Frost allowed your spells to act as if the target was frozen while under the effect, allowing Icelance to be used more often outside of just the Shatter combo. In Wrath, Icelance was changed to only do double damage against frozen targets while gaining a little buff to its base damage to not be terrible outside of Shatter. Also, Fingers of Frost was given the added effect of buffing Icelance's damage by 25% when used. In Mist, Icelance was changed to do 4 times its damage on frozen targets in addition to having the 25% boost to Fingers of Frost, and almost always critting with the new Shatter. There's also a glyph that allows your Icelance and Mastery Icelances to cleave, as well as another glyph that will split your Icelance into 3 smaller Icelances during Icy Veins to increase its damage.